All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. This is Brother Shamar coming back with another lesson, and in this lesson, I wanted to speak on this article real quick. And, as you can see in the heading about the gas prices going back up, it's pretty much leading to, other things being impacted as well. It's more so like a domino effect because gas is a major thing, the what's most of the things brought in America, because majority of things isn't locally grown. Everything is brought in through trucks, trains, ships, all that stuff, right? And with the gas prices going up in the midst of inflation, and prices for other goods are going up as well, it's just further oppressing the middle class, which we all knew going back to the pandemic that this was just going to further wipe out the middle class to the point to where there's only the rich and the poor, no in between, basically, because people are already struggling as is, and you only seeing more and more people continue to come out making videos, posts, maybe even your co-workers or whatnot, just speaking on how things are just getting out of hand, with the cost of goods, with the your cost of living, your hourly pay, all these isn't matching all of these things, All right, so I wanted to read a little bit of this article, but first I'm gonna read the scripture real quick and then get it. So this is 2nd Ezra 16, chapter 16, verse 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And these are the days that we're in, man. We're in the beginning of these days, matter of fact. All right, verse 18, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when all these evils shall come? And this is where we're at, man, the beginning of sorrows, because you're only seeing people literally look more and more defeated, more and more burnt out. Like they're basically at the point to where they literally looking like a zombie, like they're just done, because there's so much stress, so much of a burden, just so much hell to try to keep on maintaining a honest living, so to speak, trying to keep your job, keep a roof over your head, take care of your family, pay your car note, pay your bills, get food, gas, all these different things. And it's only getting more and more difficult. All right. Now you got people that it been a thing, right, with people getting 2 or 3 jobs, but even that's not even going to be able to help compensate for the prices of things going up. It's just getting out of hand. And like I said, this is the beginning of the sorrows, and it's a domino effect more so, because all these things happening is going to affect other things, All right. By the gas going up, what does that affect? People having less money in their pocket, truck drivers not driving because of the prices going up. All right. And that's what this article kind of goes into. So I'm going to read. It's short, so I'm going to read it. It was posted like 2 days ago on a website called Valuetainment. And it says, record gas prices surge as inflation impacts America's working class. And who is the working class? The working class is the middle class, basically. All right, because those are the only ones who gotta really work hard and bust their ass to survive. All right, the rich, they're not stressing about nothing. All right, the working class are the people, basically middle class and lower, because those are the only ones that are doing those jobs, to keep things afloat, so to speak, in society. But continuing on, it says gas prices surge back up to their highest rates this year as increasing inflation impacts America's working class. In recent weeks, Americans noticed a rise in gasoline prices once again. Ironically, at the same time, broader inflation related to the pandemic has driven up the cost of all other provisions Not to mention Russia's invasion of Ukraine sent U.S. oil prices past 120 a barrel, meaning American pumps passed the $5 mark in many states. And that's over here in California. That's where we're at, out here in the Bay. Because I was noticing this recently, like gas for a brief moment went down like to mid, four something, like high four something. And now it's like 530 something, or 20 something, like mid fives high, basically. And diesel, that shit's like $6 and some change for a gallon. All right. And that's now, at first people were upset about it when it happened, then it went back down. Now it's back up. So people were basically at a point now where they're like, fuck it, it's like nothing you can do about it. You still got to go to work. You still got to commute, get to where you got to go, and all these other things. So now people are just accepting it. But continuing on, in the article, it says this caused the Biden administration to tap into the nation's emergency petroleum reserve earlier this year in a failed effort to tame inflation. NPR interviewed some Boston residents sharing their thoughts on the area's average $4.19 rate per gallon, 20 cents cheaper than other places, but still at a ridiculously expensive price. I need to use the gas every day to make money, for making money, a Uber driver has said to NPR. He fills up his Toyota Highlander, which is not the hybrid model, so it utilizes more gasoline. Yeah, a lot, he says. He pays 50 or 60 a day. The rise in gas prices comes as the third largest oil refinery in the United States mysteriously erupted in a catastrophic fire in Louisiana. And this is, like I said, mysteriously erupted. More than likely, it wasn't a accident or nothing like that, because it's been other things mysteriously erupting, like you have, which isn't really spoken about on the mainstream media. If you've been looking at articles and stuff online, as far as people that expose the things that are going on, you've been noticing that here and there has been chicken factories burning down, or meat factories burning down, all these different things so-called mysteriously burning down. Why is that? It's not just a coincidence, man. All right, about time the domino effects hit everybody else at the working Americans, like it said at the top. About time the dominoes fall far enough to start affecting you, everything is already messed up in the rest of the supply chain with everything else. All right, because it's all like intertwined to a certain extent, basically, because they not, if the truck driver's not driving no more, they're not bringing in the food. If the factories are burnt down, catching on fire for like meat factories, chicken factories, or whatever else, that's even less food being brought in now. So you see that things are it's just like happening here and there, that's going to build up to the big thing that happens all at once, which is basically the collapse of America. All right. Now it says within the past few months, the Wall Street Journal reported that the moving company, a mover in Springfield, lost 3 drivers partly because higher fuel prices made their commute more expensive. According to the controller of the company, Will Wheeler, we've lost a lot of business, Wheeler said. Oil production cuts by Saudi Arabia and Russia have succeeded in bringing oil prices up to around 80 per barrel, bringing American gas prices back up. So things are back basically fucked for people, pretty much. And we're not even, and this is happening in summertime when we're not using the heater, running, because it ain't winter or nothing. So you're not using the heater like that. It's hot as hell outside right now out here, and still gases are high. So you can only imagine how high it's going to get when it gets cold, because that's when people are using more gas, using the heater, heating up the house and everything else, man. And then, like you see, it's starting to affect the truck drivers for these other businesses, and it's only going to further escalate as time goes on. All right. And then who knows, you may see more and more factories mysteriously being burnt down or catching on fire. Because they said this is the third largest. So that's a pretty big deal. All right. It's in the top three at least. So that's still a pretty big deal for it to catch on fire. As well as the fact that, like I said further up, that Biden tapped into the reserves of the American oil already. So this place is just basically done. All right. It's only going to be worse things coming. Like I said in Second Ezra, man, the beginning of sorrows, man. And these people are not speaking about the Babylonians, regular Americans, because they don't know anything anyway. But these people in America, as mainly talking about our people, which is you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they don't have a clue what's going on. You sitting here watching your bread and circus sports, whatever other folly BS you look into. By the time you realize what's actually been taking place, it's going to be too late for you to even do anything about it. You're going to be done. You're going to be right in Esau's hand where he wants you, because all of these things is happening. That's going to ultimately lead up to what? Him breaking him breaking you down to the point to where you literally have to depend upon him, because we know that the majority of our people don't depend upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So who are you going to call upon when things get bad to the point to where you can't help yourself? You know, you're going to call upon Esau to come save you, man. You're going to lean on him instead of leaning upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to grab a precept real quick before I read that. This is Proverbs 18:10. It says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Yeah, the righteous runneth into it and is safe. All right. And the majority of our people, they're not going to be calling upon the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. What are they going to be doing? They're going to be trying to take matters into their own hand and ultimately leaning upon Esau, because he's going to come and make himself seem as the savior, so to speak, in that situation when things is basically all bad in society. And then he's going to present you with what? Ultimately, he's going to present you with that mark right when you basically at your weakest point. All right. When you're in a predicament to where you literally have to be rolling on faith, basically. All right. That's why the scriptures speak so heavily upon having faith, believing, even though you don't see how you're going to make it. You know, when things are looking so bad to where you can't even fathom how you're going to get out the situation, yet you still have faith that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to provide a way out of it. Now, 2/3 of our people, they don't have that mentality. They had a mentality of leaning upon Esau because he's been the one giving you all these gifts that's been destroying your heart, man. All right, giving you the food stamps, giving you the unemployment, hitting you with them stimulus checks. Then he going to present you with the UBI. All these handouts that he's been giving you, now you're used to eating out of his hand. All right, not leaning upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and trusting in him. So it's going to ultimately catch up to the masses of our people when that time comes, man. And that time is coming sooner than later. All right. Now, this is Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And that's the times that is on the way. All right. While the evil days draw not. Now, we're not in this present moment in the time where the evil days are here. Nonetheless, those days are right around the corner from happening, man. If you're seeing what's happening, looking around you, even on your day-to-day walk, you see more homeless people, more people sleeping in RVs on the streets, all right, more crime going on. Things are getting bad. Yet, this is I had read earlier, this is the beginning of the cycle, you know, of things getting horribly worse. The beginning of sorrows. That's why you're supposed to call upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai now, before those days come. because it's going to come a point in time where people literally would rather seek death than to continue to suffer. And the scriptures speak on that, man. All right. They're going to seek death and not find it. That's how bad things are going to get out here. Like you be seeing in these movies where like 21 Days Later or these other little apocalyptic movies, or Bird Box, the first one. All right. When things were getting so bad that instead of trying to endure and live through it, maybe see if you could survive, do what you got to do, a lot of people just said they'd rather just end it, you know? And we ain't even at that point yet. The things that are happening now is just the beginning stages, or the beginning, the beginning things going on that are leading to that, to more, pretty much. All right. Verse 2, it says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. And the grinding is ceasing, man. All right. The work is going to slow up. And you're seeing that. The article mentioned it a little bit, how like truckers or truck drivers are basically not working because it's literally it's not beneficial for them to even do the drive anymore because gas is so high. And your boy in the Fed, Powell, he says they don't plan on stopping doing the rate hikes anytime soon. So there's no such thing as a soft landing coming. Things are just going to continue to progressively get worse for the people, the working class Americans, all right, and everyone else in society, man. And the grinding is going to cease to where you're going to be done out here. Ain't going to be no work out here. And it's going to be pointless to go to work. Here it is, you go to work for what? Pennies that can't even buy you shit. It's going to be at a point to where you can't even afford to pay nothing, even if you work in your whole full 40, 3 jobs, whatever the hell you try to do, you know? That's the type of situation that we're creeping into. But like I read in in Proverbs 18:10, that's why you're supposed to call upon the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because that's what's going to deliver us in those times to come, man. All right. Ain't going to be anything else you can do yourself personally. You need divine intervention. Yeah, this is Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And this is what we're supposed to be, the prudent man, all right? Because we can see the evil that's on the way, the evil days that are on the way, the destruction that's on the way, all right? And how do we hide ourselves? Like I read in Proverbs 18th chapter, we hide ourselves in the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, having the name, having faith, and doing things that a faithful servant of Yahweh Shem Yahushai would do. All right. That's how we're going to hide ourselves from the coming destruction. All right. When the time comes where things is really bad out here, where we not even on the highways and hedges no more, where you're not able to go to the store, let alone just hop in the car and go do whatever you want to do. All right. What a so-called normal life is going to cease to exist. You're going to be as pilgrims, as the scriptures say, man. Struggling to survive, doing whatever you got to do to survive. All right. But what is the true believers and worshipers of Yahweh Shem Yahushai going to do to survive, man? We're going to continue to walk in the faith, man. Believing and calling upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai to guide us in those times when those times happen, or when they come. All right, I'm gonna read it again one last time. It says, "The prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." And that's what's going to happen to the vast majority of our people, 2/3 of them. All right, they're going to be punished, man, because they are simple. Like the scriptures say, you're sawdust children. Here it is. Things are horribly bad in society, yet looking around, you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't have a clue that or inkling that how bad of a situation we're actually living in right now. Yet, like I said, looking at the majority of our people, 2/3 of them, let alone everyone else in Babylon, you would think that everything's going to be good. But like the scriptures say, when they say peace, shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. And that's the spirit that America is in as a whole, man. All right. Thinking that everything is good and it's going to suddenly come upon you, man. And there's going to be nothing you can do about it because you don't trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You trust in America, man. You trust in the society. All right. Hey, so with that, I'm going to wrap up and give our praises again to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and Shalom to the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.